senior royals. And to the surprise of the crowds gathered at the church, the Duke of York was there and was joined by his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, seen at Sandringham for the first time in ages. Our royal correspondent, Laura Bundock, is there too. So, a glimpse of all the royals, as we can see there. What did the crowds make of it all, Laura?
Well, the crowds, I think, got what they wanted to see. Some of them had been there since 4 in the morning, hoping for the best spot to catch a glimpse of the royals. And this is what they wanted to see. The family heading out of church after the short service here this morning, where they hope they will go and say hello to some of the crowds. So we can see now the Queen and the King leading the rest of the family out of the church, followed by the Prince and Princess of Wales and their 3 children as well. And then they will make their way down from the steps of St Mary Magdalene's Church on the Sandringham estate to the crowds that are gathered there. They let the crowds in just before 10 o'clock this morning, and there is a rush to try and get those spaces where you will get a good view of the royal family. But like I say, people, mostly I think from the local area actually, but I did meet a couple who'd come from London. They're American tourists, caught a taxi here to Sandringham first thing this morning. I got here nice and early. But you can see the extended family there. Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, bringing with him for the first time invited to church, Sarah, Duchess of York, his ex-wife, and see her chatting to other members of the family. She was invited to lunch last year and stayed on a separate property on the Sandringham estate, but we haven't seen her actually in church for decades now, possibly right back to the early 1990s. But there she was, perhaps as support for Prince Andrew. Don't forget, he could potentially be facing some pretty difficult scrutiny about his association with Jeffrey Epstein in the new year, with the release of more court papers. So there they were, together, united. The crowds seemed pleased to see Fergie, actually. She went up and had a chat with some of them, took flowers, took some cards from them as well, happy to go and have a chat, as were the other members of the family. I think for the crowd, certainly, this is one of those moments where you do, if you hang around long enough, you do get a chance to see a lot of royals up close and personal. And for the loyal royal fans who'd gathered from the early hours, this is what they'd wanted to see. The family will then, from the church, make their way back to Sandringham House, where they continue with their private Christmas. At about 3 o'clock, you will see the King's Christmas message broadcast. We know this year that it was recorded from what's known as the centre room, the room that sits directly behind the Buckingham Palace balcony.